expecting this. I don't even know what to say and where to begin. All I can tell you is that I'm a Mumbaichi mulgi. I was born here, I was raised here. I think the most beautiful thing is when I left in 1975, I had no idea what my future would be, and then I was lucky enough to get a job in 1978 with the Four Seasons. I started working in the garage as a parking cashier, and I wanted to work so badly that I took anything that came my way and that said no Canadian experience needed. The reason I'm saying that is sometimes don't be afraid to start at the bottom. Because when you start at the bottom, you get a certain appreciation of what it is like to be new and to be very, very low. You have to take pride in whatever position you get. And slowly and surely, I mean, you know, next thing you know, I was promoted to concierge, and then I was being asked to go and open up a concierge desk at the Four Seasons in Ottawa. And you know, you just put your foot on the ladder and just keep climbing, but do it with your heart and sincerity. I don't know who I was talking to you in the lobby. We were talking about smiling. And I said, don't fake it. Because if it's not coming from your heart, people will see it and notice it. Just now, before I came up, I'll give you an example. One woman stopped by and she said, I'm so sorry, I cannot leave the lobby without telling you, I've been watching you for 2 days. Your smile and your cheerful attitude has impacted me so much that I have to stop and say that to you. Like, it just blew me away because, I mean, I didn't even notice her yesterday. I was just smiling at everybody. And I think we are a little afraid here to look at somebody in the eyes and smile. Doesn't cost us anything. Let's just do that. Show them that we're open to being approached. But if you've got your head down, I know we're working constantly with WhatsApp and computers and things like that. Trust me, I do a lot of my computer, this and that, and social media. You can tell, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on everything. But when you're working, you have to keep your eyes on the guest. So, from Ottawa, I went on, actually it was in Ottawa that I became the first female concierge in Canada, which was a big deal. To be honest with you, I didn't even know how big a deal it was till the newspapers started writing about it. The first female concierge first. I'm like, okay. The thing is, when you start getting all those accolades, the pressure is on because you can't just accept those accolades and not deliver. So you have to deliver. You wear your keys proudly. What does it mean? It means you are the person. You make the impossible possible. You're the one that pulls out the rabbit from the hat. You're the one who knows what's happening in your hotel. Any question a guest has about your hotel, you need to know it. You are the ambassador, you're the face of your hotel. So take that very seriously and very proudly. I was just explaining that now to Michael, who's at the desk. He's young with us, he's new with us. So I was explaining to him what that concept is. Like somebody came and wanted to know where a dinner was. He had to look it up to tell him. Why? You need to know. In 10 minutes, this dinner is starting. You need to know. There's a dinner up on the second floor. So these are the little things. It's not every day you get to hire an elephant or you hire a jet. It's in the small, little things that you do that makes you, at least it worked for me. So I can only share what worked with me with you. And another thing I think that made me do as well as I did, I treated the lobby as my home, as my living room. How you treat your guests when they come to your house. Even if you don't have food, you'll take half of your serving and you give it to your guests. Come, welcome, anybody. So I used to treat the lobby as my home in sincerity. That I think that worked wonders. I mean, in Toronto, whenever I was interviewed in the papers or anything, what is the secret of your success, they asked me. I said, it's not brain surgery. It's very simple. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Right? Anybody has anything to say? Jump in, please. Let's talk. What do you think? Come on. How many are we here? 30, 40?
35.
So,
I guess they all listen to us all the time. We want to listen to you.
yeah, but I would love to hear what they have to say too. Like, what do you think? I mean, this is a discussion. It's not just me standing here talking. Come on, Mac, help me out here. Talk. Otherwise, I'll stand here and talk. So anyway, if nobody wants to talk, I'm just sharing my philosophy with you. Working 39 years at the Four Seasons, you know, you see everything. And the client's demands are very high. And how do we react, you know? That's the key, the word react. We should be proactive, not reactive. What else can I tell you? Ask me a question. I mean, what do you want to know? Any more that I've not talked about? Edwin, help them.
Any questions you have for LILOO? Anything you want to know what she did all those years, or you know?
All I'm telling you is I ran a very tight ship. That I did. Anybody who worked for me, with me, they knew my standards and they had to meet those standards. There was no excuse for poor attitude. I would be okay with somebody not knowing something, but if they were not treating the guests properly, there was no reason for that. And mistakes, we took mistakes as learning tools. Whenever we had a glitch, you know that, Shana. Whenever we had a glitch, it was a great way of seeing how we can do something even better. So nobody got into trouble for making a mistake. Human error. We're in the human error business. We're in the dealing with people business, so something's going to happen. There's going to be a mistake. Much as you try to be perfect, who hasn't made a mistake here? You never made a mistake. Anybody who made a mistake? Or who didn't make a mistake?
We learn from the mistakes.
Thank you. Anybody else? Have you always been perfect? Never, right? And who here knows you cannot do it alone? You need a good, solid team to back you up, right? You don't spend your whole 24 hours in your hotel. There's a time where you got to go home. And it's like a relay, right? You hand the baton on to the next, and you have to have full trust in that person. And that person better deliver. And if they don't, I don't know what you do, but I lock them up in a room and throw away the key. So I've had 39 beautiful years at the Four Seasons. The highlight for me, I'll tell you some of my highlights. One of my biggest highlights was being asked to come here in 2008 to open this hotel, because it's like my birthplace, and the joy and the pride that I felt coming back and showing them how to do things. So that was a big, big, big highlight of my career. Another one was when in Toronto we have something called the OHI, which is the Ontario Hotelier Institute. And every year they recognize people for excellence in the service business. For the first time ever, normally they give this gold award to general managers, owners of hotels, and things like that. For the first time ever, they chose a concierge to give that award to. So, honestly, it represents all of us. So they're finally looking at the concierge and realizing that we are very, very, very important in the hospitality industry. So please keep doing it, no matter what the odds are. You have to show your GMs how important it is to have a concierge. But how can you do that? You have to be on top of your game. You know, I never stop learning. Even now, when I'm supposedly teaching them, they're teaching me, right? So we learn from each other. The day you stop learning, please go home. Forget it. The day is finished. You're done. So as long as your minds are inquiring and you're curious, you've got, and especially now in the day of these computers, and so you can't even keep up with restaurants. Some are closing, some are opening, shops are closing, shops are not. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot of hard work. Mac asked me, he said he read somewhere that I read all the newspapers every single day. So when he met me, he said, did you really read all those newspapers? I said, yes, I did, and I still do. Renali, I'm going to put you on the spot. Questions?
Yes.
Because I can't just talk. You have to ask me some questions. Because I don't know what you want to know, so I can't just keep rambling. So tell me. Put you on the spot.
Do you want to tell them how you became LILOO Concierge?
Yes, I can certainly tell them how I became LILOO. In those days, I have to tell you, it was not so difficult as it is now. Maybe I might fail if you gave me an exam now. But in those days, it wasn't that difficult because that was 1981. I know this room is full of men, but I have to tell you, one of my biggest obstacles was there was no female concierge at that time. So that was a very, very tough obstacle to overcome. But once I overcame that, and it meant having an interview with Herb Goldring, it meant having an interview with all my colleagues. You know, they came and they saw what I was doing in my hotel, and they realized that, hey, I'm not doing a bad job. So let's break down these traditions and welcome a female into the midst. So that was the only difficulty. But then, as I said earlier, when you wear those cross keys, you can't wear them and do nothing. You have to live up to those keys. Those keys, by the way, I still have my original keys. My 1981 keys. They're a little faded, but yeah, I still have them in my jewelry box. So you continued going to meetings, and in fact I started an association in Ottawa because at that time we were not, you know, in Ottawa we were not required to go to Toronto. That's 5-hour drive. So we started our own association in Ottawa. And sooner or later I made my way back to Toronto. I've held the position that you hold as director. I was treasurer, but I was never the secretary. I couldn't do that. That was too much. So I've been on the board for a long time. And then when we had our 2011 Congress, I was on the executive board. So yeah, did all my charitable work.
Again, the Indian connection in 2011.
Unbelievable. I was your connection in 2011. I was so proud, I was so happy. Because remember that meeting we had at the Intercon? The dome.
The dome.
Yes, yes.
I was just talking to a few of the members.
Yes. And there was some newsletter that we were launching that day. I got to cut the red ribbon, I remember that. And so now, that brings me back to today, which is I'm retired now 2 years ago. But you know, I don't know what that word means, retired, because I've been doing a lot of consulting. When I retired, I thought, okay, I'll make this my new business, I'll do a website, I'll do this. Nah, I thought, why would I leave the Four Seasons if I was going to do that? So I said no. But you know, word of mouth. Before you know it, people were contacting me and saying, hey, can you come speak to my business? You know, we really want to improve our customer service. The best part of that was I could say yes or no, whichever one. If the people were not aligned to my philosophy in how the customer is king, I would say no, I'm not doing it. But by the same token, I was getting some really big accounts. I was getting Chanel, who wanted, you know, they were flying all their managers from all over the world. So it was a very, very sort of a prestigious event to be asked to speak at. And then the Remover suitcase people, you know, from Germany, they wanted me to talk to their group. I just finished doing 6 sessions with a car dealership that sells McLarens and Porsches. So I did 6 sessions with Air Canada. Like, you know, it's been wonderful. And then Sunil wanted me to come here for 2.5 months. I couldn't thank him enough. So that's what I'm doing here in the hotel. I know you're not asking me any questions, but if privately you want to contact me and ask me something, that's okay. I'm here till April 6th. So you have a month and a half. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Edward. These are all such wonderful people. I'm sure they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, that, as I said, for me, what makes a difference is being sincere, being knowledgeable. Knowledge is power. Please be knowledgeable, not only about your hotel, your vicinity, your city, and keep your network very strong, because the amount of power you have in this room is mind-boggling. In Toronto, we reach out to each other all the time. If we have a question, we send it out to the group, like you do, group chat. Hey, does anybody know where you can get whatever? And then all the emails pour in. So stay very, very, very tight and very close. Have I said enough, Mr. Edwin? I've talked a lot.
Any questions? Anything?
Nobody's asking questions.
Yeah? No?
Even Ronali doesn't have a question.
I can ask you anytime.
That's why.
Sonali is good in asking questions. I know that well.
I keep talking to you every now and then, and I keep asking.
But for this forum,
A small recipe from you for us to be connected, like you did in your time.
yeah. But you know, that's very, very, you know, there was a time when everybody said, I. But there's no such thing as I. The more you work in this industry, you very quickly realize without housekeeping, how can you get that VIP's room ready? Without room service, how can you get that champagne in a room? So you need to have very good connections within your own hotel, right? We call them internal guests. So don't underestimate the power of that. Because, you know, I mean, when you have a really, really close connection with another department, they will move mountains for you. And if you don't have that, they will do only what's required. Just, if you want them to bend the rules or do something different for you, do something that's not normal, they will do it. Yeah? So, does anybody want to tell me what you do in your own hotels? Oh my goodness. You said they talk.
I just said Sonali talks.
Sachi, come on. Nothing to share? How am I going to learn from you?
Punjab.
Punjab is preparing for the next month.
Okay, jokes aside, I mean, seriously, if you don't have any questions, I'm just kidding. That's fine. And I'm serious. If you have anything you want to talk to me about, I'm here. You can contact me through the hotel, through Sonali, Mac, Shaunak, anybody. I'll be happy to answer anything you have. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I wasn't expecting this at all. I was in the lobby helping Michael and I was saying, oh my God, when are they going to call me? I want to get into my pajamas and go to bed. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck for 2020, your beautiful conference. Oh my God. That last day, you know, in the gala, the closing night, it was such a celebration because everybody worked so hard. And then, wow, you almost feel like, oh my God, it's over. I hope you had a very good meeting. Yes?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let the party begin, I guess. I don't know.
We
Yes.
have an announcement for the concert of the court I was speaking to.
Oh, yes.
So why not